Hello and welcome to Kiddick Farms. We are here kicking off with the first episode of a new series on UMRV, Upper Mississippi River Valley. And if you haven't already, I did do a video setting up this farm, buying all of our equipment, figuring out what land we wanted. And so that's going to be a separate video that you can go watch. I'll link it up here at the top of the video if you're on PC. And since then, I've made just 3 small changes based on both doing a little research and some feedback from everybody in the comments. So I always appreciate the suggestions and feedback in the comments. We have added this hay hauler trailer. This is going to allow me to transport a single row of big round bales. Yes, I know we've got a 1500 Silverado here, but I figured if we got the single wide version, we'd probably be able to pull that off. So that's what we're going to do. And I also picked up a John Deere 4440 to be our feed tractor. We may end up using this for a couple other things around the farm, but primarily I think its job is going to be pulling this feed wagon around. And then lastly, if we run all the way over here to the other side of the farm, I have added another steel barn here for storing our bales. I likely could have stored them all into this shed. However, this is an auto load bale storage type deal. And with how much lag a lot of bales can cause on the server, I felt like this was a good addition. And all of the mods that I'm using on this Let's Play are being kept track of on my Discord server. So if you want to be able to follow along, see what mods I'm using, they are all publicly available. And on my Discord server, there's a mod links FS22 with a pinned post that has all of the links for UMRV mods right there in one place. So without further ado, the first thing that we're going to be doing in our series here is cutting some grass, because we're in August. There's not a lot of other jobs to do, and we want to get some hay moving here for our cows so that we're going to be able to, well, actually purchase cows. You will notice we've got $236,000 sitting up here in the bank. And if we just pop into the finance screen here, you can see we have not yet had to take out a loan, which is awesome. We will definitely be taking out a loan at some point, though. We're going to take advantage of all available funding. We've got currently this land. The main farm is bought. These two are leased. We have a lot of leases going on right now, so we will be paying some interest, but I wanted to have some working capital to make sure we can buy a bunch of cows once we have food for them. The corn that we've got down here is not quite yet ready for forage harvesting here. We're going to chop that once it turns dark green here, so probably in the next month. And then you can see here we've got some beans and surprisingly some sunflowers. So we'll be getting all this stuff harvested up in the fall. But in the short term, we need to get us some hay bales. The hay bales are going to be needed to get our cows fed. Specifically, we'll be using them in our TMR mix. And then when we can start chopping that corn, we'll be making silage with it, which is going to allow us to get the full mix. We'll get some straw going at some point here from, we'll probably have to plant some wheat or something to get some straw in the mix there. But today we're going to be worrying about the hay. So we're going to come out here. We've got 2 pasture areas on the farm here that we're going to be able to mow. And I'm loving this swather pack. It's got a conditioner on the front of it here. And this is going to allow us to mow and essentially ted all in one pass here. So we don't need to do a lot of craziness. It cuts down on the amount of equipment that we're going to need. And so we're going to go ahead and jump right into it here. And because this isn't an actual field, but rather just a grassy pasture area up around the farm, we're not going to be leveraging any horseplay or anything like that. So we are going to have to do things manually, and my oh my, are there some hills back here, folks. We're gonna lose some bales down into the creek, I'm sure of it. We're gonna have to be very selective where we unload the bales. I could get down real close to the creek there. I'm actually a little afraid of getting something stuck down there, so we're gonna take our first cutting here a little bit cautiously, I think, until we get a handle on the terrain. and where the holes and the divots and stuff are. This is a new farm for us. I am gonna try and drive relatively straight here though. Cleaning this all up with the baler later is gonna be fun, although it looks like the mowing head kind of picked that up and scooted it over for us, so I don't know if we lost that crop or if it just moved it over for us. We've got to be conscious of the fact that our tractor that's going to come through here with the baler is probably going to sit a little bit higher than the swather here, so I don't know, we might get stuck on that tree when we try and come back here later, but that's all right. And yeah, that's a serious side hill. I don't know if we're going to get all of that side hill or not. I would hate to try and bail on the side of a hill like that. Now, at some point, oof, this is a hill. At some point, we may try to set up a more normal field for getting some hay off of, because we don't necessarily want to be just mowing the grass in the backyard here for keeping our cows going. This is just our starting point. I think we will be running either alfalfa or clover, which are two new crops that have been added to the map here. And so we'll be planting that out in a legitimate field to give us the crops we need to sustain the cows after we get started. But like any new farm, we've got to get started somewhere, and we're gonna use the land that we've got. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock this field out real quick, and we will get out here and get some baling done. All right, we have finished up our mowing here, and thanks to the wonders of the conditioner and everything on this swather, it is actually already tedded up and ready to be raked and baled. We are going to get a rake, I think a windrower, to combine some of these. This field ended up being a lot bigger than I was anticipating, so we're gonna want something here to help us get this all into a bigger windrow so that we can bale it up a little bit faster. And I've been trying out some of the new Vermeer stuff that came in the DLC, so I am gonna pick this up, I think, as our windrower or a rake here. And you know what? We're gonna actually take the feed tractor out to do this, I think. We'll probably use the other tractor for the baler, but I wanna mix it up a little bit, so we're gonna use the 4440 on this rake and see if I can make a run of it with this. Should work out. I don't think this thing's gonna have much horsepower requirements at all. So I've never used this particular piece of equipment before. We'll see how it goes. Now I'm not sure. I'm hoping I can get 3 rows here with it if I can get lined up. Oh, it doesn't look like it. We're only gonna be pulling in 2. All right, that's all right. It's still going to make the baling go a bit easier here. And it's a fairly speedy machine at 11 miles an hour. Oh yeah, this is perfect. So we're gonna go ahead and get this all raked into some windrows here, and then we'll jump back in and get the baler out, I think. We have finished raking all of the grass up here. I'm just trying to, I don't know, clean up some of these little scraggly bits around the trees, because trying to do this with the baler is going to be even harder. And so we're just getting right up in here with the rake and trying to combine some of this into a reasonable pile of grass. We've missed a few little bits here and there, but honestly, that's natural. That's something that's going to happen. I'm not too worried about it. And it looks like we should be about done. So I'm going to fold this rake up. I think we're going to put it right here into this open shed here, since we won't be using the second one for bales here. This is a perfect spot to store some of our tillage and like haying equipment and stuff like that. Since we'll be using it here, no sense driving it up into a different part of the farm. We do have one other field that we could be mowing and raking and such, but you know, let's start with this. Let's see how many bales we get, And that'll kind of determine how far we're going to go down the path here for cows, how many cows we're going to get. And I'm going to leave the tractor here as well for the time being. And yeah, man, I'm excited. I really want to see how many bales we're going to get off of this. I'm not looking forward to fishing them all out of the creek down here, because I know at least some of them are going to roll down there, but that's all right. That's part of the experience. And I would like to remind everybody, this is an early access version of the map. There are a few issues that DJ Modding has been working on fixing. I'm pretty sure the issue with the water flickering on and off is one of the issues that he's aware of and is going to be fixed before release. That came up in our live stream, and I believe he mentioned that he was working on that. So hopefully the new version is coming soon. He's been posting on his Facebook page about the updates. That would be the best place to follow along for news on when this map is going to release. We're going to go ahead and grab the 7810 here. I think we're going to do the baling with this tractor, just to, as I said, continue to mix things up. And our baler is up here in the main storage shed here, but like I said, I think we're going to keep all the haying equipment down in that other shed moving forward. I think that's going to be a more convenient place for it to be located. So we're going to run this down here. Now there's a couple of different paths through this farm, and we haven't actually used this gate over here just yet. So let's go ahead and try that out, make sure everything's working appropriately. Got to be more careful with this gate. It doesn't have the cattle guard on it. Not that we have any cows yet, but yeah, there we go. So I think we're going to leave the baling for next episode. We've done quite a bit of work today, and this is going to be a fun job, I think. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's episode. It's been a quick start, diving right into some grass work here on UMRV. Next episode, we will dive into the baling, get some hay on the farm, and maybe we'll even just start with some cows, even though we've only got the hay to feed them, and we'll work into the silage in the TMR as we get into the next month. That's all for today. Ketterk out.